All right, from riots shutting down conservative speakers to blatantly biased professors, it was a wild year on college campuses all across this country.
And joining us now to break down the craziest ideological campus stories of 2017 is the media director for campusreform.org, Cabot Phillips. Cabot, you've been on this all year for us, often on set covering some of the craziest stuff. We forced you to boil it down to 5, which is tough in light of the state of affairs on college campuses. The first, though, a university professor at Georgia, in the University of Georgia. Well, I'll put the quote up of what he had to say and get you to react. This is what a professor at Georgia said. He had a stress reduction policy. If you feel unduly stressed by a grade for any accessible material or the overall course, you can email the instructor indicating what grade you think is appropriate, and it will be so changed. No explanation is required. Pick your own grade over there at University of Georgia.
Yeah, and this is something that the professor doesn't realize, that by coddling the students, he's actually hindering them and getting ready for the real world. Stress is something you need to learn how to process. If you just do it away and say, well, I should be able to change my circumstances in life and just decide my stress should be gone. I tried this with my landlord. I told him my rent was a little too stressful. I wanted to cut it in half. That's what I deserved. It didn't go well. So clearly these students aren't going to be ready for the real world.
Emailing your own grade? Like, that's unbelievable.
So, Cabot, number 4 on your crazy campus list for 2017 was this professor who blamed the Vegas shooting on the president.
He got elected. I told my classes 3 semesters ago. Some of us won't be affected by this presidency, but others are going to die. Other people will die because of this. And you've seen this happen, right? So far, all he's done is to encourage violence.
And it's important to point out, too, with that quote, that is a taxpayer-funded institution. That's our money that's funding that kind of thing in the classroom. And also, there was no proof or no evidence of that statement. She's just throwing it out there. And that's something we saw all year from the left in classrooms, where professors, administrators were blaming everything on Donald Trump, no matter what the issue was. And that's one of the most egregious examples.
Well, do we know if that teacher still has a job?
She does, yes. There is coverage of that, and usually accountability is the best thing for getting professors like that out of the classroom, but she does still have a job there at UNLV.
All right, we have evergreen students protesting. I think we have video of that too, right?
We do, absolutely.
Take a listen.
These racist teachers have got to go! Black power! Black power!
So it's a little tough to tell exactly what's happening there.
They barricaded the library, right? Occupied
they did.
And barricaded.
They actually held their administrators and school president hostage in their offices, demanded that one of their professors be fired because they felt that he wasn't racially inclusive enough, even though he was a liberal professor. And the president actually came out and said, hey, I have to go to the bathroom. Can I leave my office? And they said, we will escort you to the bathroom, and then you're going back to your office, and we're not letting you leave until you fire this professor. And the president actually came out of that school and said, these students, they were just expressing themselves, standing up for a cause they believed in, allowing them essentially to completely get away with it. None of the students were really held accountable or reprimanded for those actions.
If it's letting students escort you to the bathroom, like the flipping of that dynamic is unbelievable to me. All right, another one here, Charles Murray. He's a famous conservative writer. He's a scholar at the American Enterprise Institute. He tried to go to Middlebury College and give a speech and was shut down.
Shockingly, it did not go well trying to bring conservative ideas to Middlebury College. And these students, they rioted. There was a liberal professor there trying to escort him to the speech, and they were attacked. The professor spent a month wearing a neck brace. I actually went to Middlebury to talk to the administrators about what happened. None of the students were held accountable or reprimanded for those actions. And also, they have a new policy where any speaker that comes has to get approval. If they're too controversial, they're not allowed. And of course, as conservatives deemed too controversial.
Great.
And finally, we have Berkeley riots with Milo Yiannopoulos. I spoke at Berkeley. I didn't quite get this reaction.
It's surprising again, but sadly, it's not too shocking. Anytime conservative ideas come to a place like Berkeley, this is the reaction we see, and we need to see 2018 defend free speech if we're going to make campuses any better.
On campus today, we're escorting college presidents to the bathroom and choosing our own grades. All right, Cabot, well done. Keep it up. We'll see you in 2018.